Hi everyone, I wanted to do another quick video this week to show you a resource called ONET Online. And you can see that I've just entered onetonline.org into my bar up here, and this is where it brings me to this site. ONET Online is put out by the U.S. Department of Labor, and it is considered a scholarly source or a credible source for your career research. That's going to be important as we move forward in this class. So I would encourage you to kind of make note of this website because it can save you a lot of time in the future when you start researching for your career project that will have due at the end of the term. For this week, what we're focusing on here on ONET is something called work values. So in order to get to the occupation that you're looking at, and you're going to be looking at the three sort of occupations of interest that you've been exploring in week one. And again, if you did not agree with your career coach results, that's absolutely fine. Please don't waste your time on things that you know you're not interested in. Make sure that you choose 3 occupations that you might be interested in or that you do want to learn more about for the purposes of these assignments, because your time is valuable and we want to kind of maximize what we can get out of this activity. So I'm going to give you an example up here in this search bar. I don't know why all that's popping up, so just ignore that, but I am going to enter pediatric nurse. And I chose this as an example just because I know from your intro discussion that we have a lot of people in the class that are interested in this field. So whatever your occupation is that you want to learn about, just put it up here in this quick search field. All right, so I don't have an exact match here for pediatric nurses. Sometimes you do, depending on your terminology, but I'm going to click on this one as a close match. So you can see it gives me all kinds of information. It talks about the tasks I would do in this job, the technology I need, the knowledge and skills that I need to have. And of course, we need to keep in mind that you're not going to have all of these at this point, because this is the purpose of being in college, is to learn to develop these things. So definitely don't let this all overwhelm you. But this is just a good overview of the job and kind of what it looks like to actually work in this career. One thing that I want to point out that isn't necessarily super obvious when you first look at it is that it will say things sometimes under these menus like 5 of 29 displayed. So if you want the full view of all of the tasks, or at least a more comprehensive list of the tasks involved in this job, make sure that you click on that plus sign, and that's going to open the rest of them so that you can get a more complete picture, to have a more comprehensive idea of what this is all about. So for the purposes of this week, we're going to be focusing on what's called work values. So we need to scroll all the way down until we get to that work values section. And you can see here for this career, support, relationships, and achievement are listed as the top 3 work values, and then there's a little description of each one. So what you're asked to do this week is to complete that online value sort activity and submit the screenshot. The link to that is listed on Canvas. And as part of that, you identify your top 4 general personal values that are most important to you. And then you're asked to look at this work values section for each of the 3 careers that you're considering and talk about how these values align with your individual personal values or not. And that's important because when we're considering a career, we need to consider not just the tasks and the work that we're doing, but also the work conditions and the priorities that are important in that career, and to make sure that there's not a conflict between those things and what we value or prioritize in the rest of our lives. So that's an important piece for you to consider. So that's what the reflection asks you to do this week, and this is where you can find that information.